Hi, Hirsch Sahai here. 11 March 2021, reporting from Wellington, New Zealand, as usual. And we've all heard the saying before that you can't compare yourself to others. Usually, it's best to compare yourself to your counterparts, basically those of the same age as you who have grown up in the same place as you as well. But because I've always thought even them you can't compare yourself to. I mean, yes, it makes sense to compare yourself to those of the same generation, certainly those of the same age, and those who have grown up in the same city or the same country. I understand that completely, but I really don't think you can compare yourself even to your counterparts because still your life is very, very different. I mean, so many things in life that really determine or really have a huge impact on who you are, what you become, and you've got absolutely no control over them. I mean, think about it. For one, the genetics you're born with, how you're raised, the place you're born in, the time you're born in. I guess we cover that by saying compare yourself to those with the same place and time being born in. Okay, but still, yeah, your genetics, how you've been raised, where you're born and raised, when you're born and raised, the people who surround you, even just what happens to you each and every day. So many of all these things, really have a huge impact on who you are and what you become, and you've got absolutely no control, at best, very little control over them. All of them together, I'd say very little control. I guess the people you associate with, you do have some control over, and what happens to you each and every day, you've got some control over again. But I think you see what I mean. But yeah, coming back to that point, you compare yourself to your counterparts. I do understand that, but I really think you can't. You can't compare yourself to your counterparts. 'Cause even just a few of the things on that list, for example, like the genetics you're born with and how you're raised, those two things have a huge impact on you, and they can be very different between you and one of your counterparts, someone who is of the same age and born and raised in the same place or country as you. Just we all know that an upbringing, whether good or bad, can have a huge impact on people, and of course, so can genetics as well. Just what you're born with, your natural traits, how you look, what you're good at, what you're not good at, your intelligence, your physical strength, all those things. So really, what I'm saying is, I don't think you can compare yourself even to your counterparts because there's so much that is just specific to you that you really can't compare, and it can be good or it could be bad, and it can make the situation, your lot in life or what you've, if you like, the cards you've been dealt. It can make them good, it can make them bad, it can be good for you, it can be bad for you. But either way, it can make things, fair or unfair for you when compared to others, even your counterparts. Um, One very good example is that, sometimes when experts or people who investigate things, police or their detectives, when they interview people who've been imprisoned for long periods of time for committing, unbelievable, unspeakable crimes such as murders, mass murders, serious fraud, and sometimes when they talk to them, almost sometimes like talking to a normal person. Sometimes it is. Some of the people even well mannered, believe it or not. But one thing which is common throughout almost all of them, they all had an abusive childhood. And just that in itself, as you can see, had a huge impact on what they became and what they did. I'm not saying that they're all innocent, that we should release them all tomorrow, but I'm just saying that, their childhood had a huge impact on what they became later on in life. So I think you can get I think you can see what I'm getting at right now. I don't think you can compare yourself to others, certainly not to others, not even your counterparts. You can only compare yourself to yourself. Look at the cards you've been dealt with and look at how you've handled those cards, whether they've been good, whether they've been bad, whether they've been a bit of a mixture, a bit of a mixed bag. Only compare yourself to yourself. Look at yourself now and say, 1 year ago, how far have you come? How much have you achieved? How have you approached everything that's been given to you, whether it's good or bad? Have you taken the full advantage of the good? Have you tried to, get around and sort out and work on the bad? How have you handled the whole thing? We all know people who have been given so much and achieve so much. We all know people who have been given so much and achieve so little. And of course, we all know people who have been given a little and somehow managed to achieve a lot. A little bit like that other video I had about how hard work truly conquers all. That video really overlaps with this one, doesn't it? In that way. So, yeah, I don't think you can compare yourself with others. I don't think you can compare yourself even with your counterparts. You can only compare yourself to yourself. Thank you.